Traders, it's just a few minutes after 4:30 p.m. on Wall Street, and it's quite a good afternoon to be a trader. The reason is that we're all very fortunate this afternoon and very grateful that we have here with us Sang Lucci, who will share with us his thoughts on a top hedge fund options trader's guide to your platform, your broker, and your strategies. Again, that is top hedge fund option trader Sang Lucci, and today's topic is the guide to your platform, your broker, and your strategies. And of course, that is the handsome, smiling face of Sang Lucci himself in front of you. Who is Sang Lucci? Today's presenter is the he was the head trader at PTG Trading and WTS Proprietary Trading. This man is a proprietary trader extraordinaire. At the age of 25, as a young, up-and-coming, rising hedge fund trader, he made almost $2.5 million on a $50,000 account. Let me say that again in case you thought that was some sort of error coming out of your speakers. $2.5 million on a $50,000 account. In 2013 alone, the year's not even finished yet, he's made $1 million. Sang Lucci has taught over 1,000 traders. You go on Twitter, handle at Sang Lucci. You can see he has over 6,000 traders following him because, quite frankly, Sang Lucci is a man who his reputation precedes himself, and he's internationally sought after, both as an educator and as a trader himself. When Sang Lucci says something, the market listens. To introduce the rest of the Sang Lucci team, he has alongside with him in the office Mr. Peter Zhang, who is the quant on the Sang Lucci team. He is sort of their expert at options writing, and he runs the strategy on that. Of course, they have Zach, the young buck Musso, whom many of you know, and he is also responsible for their on-the-move trading course, which I'm sure we'll be hearing a little bit about coming up shortly. And Zach came over to Sang Lucci from Young Gun Trading. And of course, Charlie, who does management operations and marketing for multiple startups and for Sang Lucci and for their hedge fund. You can find Sang Lucci's expertise and his opinions written on Benzinga, written on CBOE on that site. Now, as for me, my name is Nathan. I'm on the team here at Marketfire. Marketfire, of course, is the web's only marketplace for fully audited, fully verified trade newsletters and education. And I'm very excited this afternoon to introduce to you Sang Lucci because, like I said, this is a world-renowned, world-sought-after options trader, and his hedge fund is simply one of the best. So with no further ado, I will pass the screen along to Sang Lucci. Sang Lucci, how you doing today?
Hi, how are you guys?
We are doing well. And I should also preface with a little bit of a disclaimer. If you have the kiddies around, Sang Lucci is not necessarily Mr. PG or G. He, as with most traders, will say what is on his mind. So put those earmuffs on the little ones.
All right, well, I'll try to keep it PG for you here. So basically what we're here to talk about today is your trading platform. So this is more geared for the basic traders who are just starting out trying to trade options. And basically what we're going to do with this part of the agenda today is just talk about sample setups, the setup of myself, what I like to look at, and then questions that you guys will want to ask your broker. And then also we'll talk about commissions and things like that. So first off, let me just show you guys my platform and some of the ways that I use it and some of the things that I'm able to do, with my platform that is a little bit more advanced or sort of a step up from a lot of your retail platforms. Okay, so I have a couple examples up here, but this is basically the gist of one of my institutional platforms right here. Now I'm working off of a laptop, so what you're seeing is just this one screen sort of approach. And what I like to use and what I like to use for my actual day-to-day trading is always a level 2 and a time and sales, which you're going to see on all these other platforms as well. And you'll see up here, you'll see a nice option chain. And then you always want to have sort of a watch list where you're taking a look at, this sort of collection of stocks that you have your eye on. And then at the bottom here, what you'll see is you'll see the options that I'm actually playing throughout the day. Now, obviously, I have, 4 or 5 different screens, so I might have 12 of these things up. But basically, let's take a stock that moved today. Let's take this Netflix. Obviously, you guys see, had a nice, really big move up today, over $300. So, if I'm trying to play this thing from the long side, I'll pull up this option right here and then play the option directly from this chain, okay? Now, we're going to come back to this in a second, but I want to talk real briefly about your retail platforms, okay? So this is an example of a retail platform. This would be Fidelity right here, okay? And now Fidelity, you can see I have it queued up to give me similar information, time of sales, level 2, an options chain, and maybe a chart here and there. Okay, and then you're going to see another platform. You're going to see Options House. Okay, so this is just a random account that I used to have at Options House. And Options House is a little bit different because it's a web-based platform. Now, here are the things that we need when it comes to platforms. The number one issue, so to speak, with platforms, especially the retail ones, and especially with basic traders starting out, is the time it takes to execute an order. Okay, so this is basically the issue that we're going to discuss here today. To go through a little example, let's say you guys had Options House, right, and you wanted to buy an option on Google. Let's say you wanted to go long Google, and you wanted to buy a call option, right? What do you have to do? Okay, you got to click this particular option. You got to open up an order ticket, okay? You got to scroll through all this. You got to select, okay, how many contracts do I want? Do I want a limit order? Do I want a market order? Do I want to stop on it? And then you got to go ahead and enter the order. Now, in Options House, I don't know if this automatically refreshes either. So oftentimes platforms, you'll open up an order ticket and you're thinking you're going to send it out for a certain price, but in reality that price is no longer there. Okay, remember, prices are constantly fluctuating as the underlying equity is moving around. So if you don't know what the actual price you're throwing it out there for, or you don't know where the actual market is, you got to go back, refresh your options chain, figure out where the option is, and then go back and place your order, okay? And then you also have to hit this preview button. Now, obviously, there's settings there where you don't have to look at a preview of your actual order ticket, but that's more time taken away from you actually trading. So when we talk about the differences between retail traders and professional traders like myself, we're talking about time it takes to execute an order, and also the access to fast information and basically all the data that we need at our fingerprints or at our fingertips. Okay, and this is one of the beefs with the retail platforms, because think about it. You have a move like, let's say we go back to this Fidelity thing. You have a move like Apple made today. Okay, now Apple had the conference that came out, and this thing spiked down. What? This is about a 10-point sweep down, right? So that's a pretty big move, and that happened what? That happened in about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, possibly 15 minutes, right? And if you're fumbling around to try to get an order executed on Apple, let's say, within that period of time, how fast do you think those options are moving? How fast do you think the stock is moving? These things are happening so quickly that if it takes you a minute to send a freaking order, then you got a problem here. Number one, you don't want to be trading stuff like this because you're not fast enough to execute, okay? So any of you intraday traders out there, or people who want to get into the intraday options trading business, you need a platform where you can really move quickly, okay? And especially if you're trying to capitalize on volatility like this, okay? So this Apple moves points within seconds sometimes. And if you're not there within that, that minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you're missing the whole move. And worst of all, guys, sometimes and actually a lot of retail traders, what do? They send market orders, guys, okay? So you're going to throw out a market order, let's say, and you're going to try to get into this call. By the time you send your market order, you queue everything up, you think you're going to get $9 or $1 or whatever the hell it is you're going after. You ain't going to get $1. You ain't going to get $9. You're not going to get any of that. You're going to end up getting maybe 20% more than what you wanted to pay for it, okay? That's what happens when you send some of these market orders, especially if you're not there on time to send these orders. Okay, so that's when we're going to go back to our institutional platform. One thing I want to show you guys is the use of hotkeys and just faster order execution in general. So for me, all I got to do is say 10 and let's say I want to buy 19 cents here, and then just hit enter. That's all I got to do. Sometimes I might want to toggle to send it to a different route. But again, these are sort of advanced ways to route to particular exchanges that don't cost as much as the next guy. But most of you retail guys aren't going to be able to have access to that. Okay. So what we want to talk about is this is sort of these hotkeys. So if you take a look at this, another thing that I'm able to do is I'm able to build out some hotkeys here. So if I want to buy, let's say in the market, for a 10 contract order or even a 100 contract order, I can sit here and program a key. I can go to the particular account that I want. I can even say, okay, I want to buy the ask, but I want to even buy through the ask 10 cents. I can do whatever the hell I want to here and then just add in a hotkey. So I gotta just save it as F1. Okay? So in this case, I got to go open and save it as F1. All right? So now, every time that I am on this particular level 2 or whatever, any order entry, all I got to do is hit F1, and I'm in for 100 contracts. It'll buy the offer, whatever that I can sit there and get, okay? And that happens in a second, okay? Whereas you compare that to the guy who's got to use this retail platform and say, okay, I want to go ahead and buy 100 contracts. I got to change that. I got to sit here and change this. I got to change this to a market order. I got to hit preview. I got to do all stuff. And by the time you set your order, that price that you want most of the time is gone, or you're up against guys like me. And remember, there's people who are faster than me even, okay? You're talking market makers. You're talking smart money. There's people that are so much faster than me and get data so much quicker than me, okay? And you're up against all of us, all right? And you're sitting here fumbling around with your order entry here, okay? Now, I will say, for the swing traders out there who are making trades based on a 1 week outlook or a 2 week outlook or even a monthly outlook, this again, speed of order execution might not be a factor for you. But when you're comparing most retail people to professional traders and to smart money, hedge fund guys, these are the platforms that we want to use, okay? These platforms here that are very customizable. We can easily get data all in one place at one time. We can get the necessary information that we need to make decisions very quickly on the spot. And if we need to change things, we can do it very quickly, okay? Now, there's also another couple factors with advanced platforms that you can sort of take advantage of. There's a lot of there's a lot more routes. Okay, so if we go up here and you take a look at your equities routes, take a look at all these routes. Okay, so now when you're talking about advanced platforms and advanced order execution, all of these routes and exchanges have different costs tied into them. Okay, most of you guys don't understand the maker-taker rule. Or a lot of the stuff that came along with regulation NMS. This is all stuff that you can learn in one of our classes, okay? But again, all these routes and exchanges help us to get better fills. They help us cut our commissions, help us hide our true intentions from the marketplace, because we don't want everybody to know that I'm in the market buying 10,000 contracts of Bank of America. I don't want anybody to know that. So what are some ways that I can do? What are some things that I can do to avoid most retail money from understanding what the hell I'm doing? Okay? So there's a lot of that involved with the institutional platforms and some of the higher grade direct market access platforms out there, like Lightspeed, Dash Trader, Sterling, Fusion, and then those are all the retail sort of prop trading platforms. And then you have the market maker platforms. You have institutional platforms. You got all kinds of stuff out there that is so much better than the average retail brokerage account. Okay? Now, let's talk real quickly about questions that you want to ask your broker. I'm assuming most of you guys are pretty basic in your trading abilities, so to speak, and knowledge. So what you want to do if you want to trade options, number one, you need clearance. You need what's called level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 clearance from your broker to participate in certain strategies, okay? So let's say you want to write options. If you want to write options, okay, number one, they want to know if you want to write naked, meaning you have no hedge, okay, or you want to write credit spreads, okay? Both of those are two different levels of clearance. The number one thing that you want to do is call your broker up and say, hey, what can I do with my account in regards to options? Can I just buy a call and buy a put? That's the basic level right there. And then do covered calls? That's level 1 right there. Or can I write some spreads? Can I write naked? Can I do a couple iron condors? Can I do that? They're going to tell you what they need from you in order to clear or pass that clearance level, okay? Number one things that they require is a minimum trading account. A lot of them want you to have 25,000, 30,000 in your account in order to get clearance for high-level option strategies, okay? If you want to write naked, okay, if you want to write naked, most of your brokers will tell you no. They'll tell you no straight to your face because, number one, it's a lot of risk for them. They don't want a lot of people making those kinds of trades. They only want those who are very well capitalized to be writing options naked. So to get the highest level of clearance for options, you got to have a PMA account, a portfolio margin account, which is over 250,000. Okay, so that's step number one. All right, now step number two, I get people asking me all the time, how do I get my commissions down? Everybody's saying, okay, well, I'm paying 75 cents. I'm over here at Scottrade paying $1.25. I'm over here at E-Trade paying 70 cents, or Thinkorswim, or whatever it is, and they're trying to get their commissions down. The problem is that most of you guys don't trade enough volume, okay? That's the big issue with bargaining for your commissions to go down. Most retail brokers are going to laugh at you when you call them and say, yo, give me 50 cents. Or give me 40 cents. They're going to laugh at you because you trade maybe 100 contracts a month or less. That volume is nothing to them, okay? They piss that amount of contracts in seconds on a daily basis, right? Me personally, I trade anywhere from I don't know, 70,000 contracts to 150,000 contracts a month. That's pretty decent volume, especially for a lot of these brokers out there. So if you tell them you're pushing that kind of volume, they'll play ball. They'll play ball, and they'll cut your commissions down very significantly. So in 2009, I was able to get Fidelity to bargain me down to about 25 cents a contract. 25 cents is pretty damn good. If you can get anything cheaper than 25 cents, then you're playing ball. Now, another thing that the direct market access platforms allow you to do is take advantage of rebates. Okay. Now, again, this is a big discussion that most retail doesn't have. They don't have a clue about. Is the whole thing about rebates, okay? There are exchanges where you can route your orders through, whether you're doing equities or options, and you can get a rebate back. This is called the maker-taker rule, which, again, to really understand the intricacies of this thing, either take the class or, Google this stuff, see if you can do some research on regulation NMS and the maker-taker rule. But basically, if you're adding liquidity to certain equities or certain options, you can get a rebate back, okay? The exchange will pay you because you are acting as a market maker and you're adding liquidity to the market. They made this rule to cozy up to a lot of the high-frequency traders out here, okay? So, just to give you sort of a sneak peek here, is that most HFT guys, they trade free. They trade free because they rebate the crap out of their models. All their models is about rebate trading. So they offer out and they bid out. They put out limits everywhere, and then essentially are able to trade for free. This is another way to cut your commissions down. This is another way for people like myself, to cut our commissions down. So if we get a flat rate for 25 cents and we're getting rebates back on my option orders. So let's say I send 100 at I don't know, let's say I send 100 at 17 and I get filled on that, depending on what what route I'm using, I can get a rebate back for that. So instead of paying 25 cents, I'm essentially paying 25 cents less whatever the rebate that I get back, whether it's 5 cents or 10 cents or whatever it is per contract. I can slowly lower my commissions. Now, why doesn't the retail world get access to this? Well, welcome to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the game. The retail traders are at a complete disadvantage when you're talking about high-level routing, exchanges, and market structure. Okay? So this is another big sort of argument between how come the retail traders don't have the tools that the institutional guys do. Take it up with your broker, but again, they're going to laugh at you as well. Okay? But, you know, these are sort of some of the issues that you want to talk about when you call your broker, when you want to negotiate your fees down, and then also if you want clearance for certain option strategies. Okay? So that's kind of what we're helping you out with here today. And I'll go ahead and pass this back to Nathan here.
Lucci,
take some questions.
Hey, but before you go ahead, I remember we were talking a little while back, and I remember you telling me about a year where you had huge commission fees in that year. I remember it being a 6-figure number. Could you tell us all that story? I think that could be really helpful for the audience.
Sure. All right. So 2009, guys, I was trading very aggressively, and I traded about, I want to say, about 500,000 contracts, maybe a little bit more for that whole year. Now, I had just gotten into options at that time, and I was trading very aggressively on Citigroup, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Potash, SPY, and I'd be throwing around 1,000 lot contracts like nothing. And this was really before I knew what I know today, okay? Now, guys, in 2009, I was paying 75 cents a contract through Fidelity and also paying a ticket fee just like you guys, okay? So I was able to pull out maybe, I don't know, $2 million change for the summer, just for the summer. And what happened is that I didn't even realize this until at the end of the year. I'm sitting here trying to just crunch numbers and figure out how I did. I had all these spreadsheets out, and I'm sitting there calculating my commissions a year later. So what I found out was that I ended up paying Fidelity, okay? I ended up paying Fidelity close to $500,000 in commissions, guys, okay, for the year 2009, right? And then I called them up, and I said, you guys, I'm going to come over there and kill somebody, right? And they cut me down immediately. They cut me down immediately to 25 cents a contract from 75 cents, guys, okay? Now, obviously, the bells and whistles are going off in my head, right? And I'm asking myself, well, if you just cut me down to 25 cents, what the hell are you guys paying for this, right? And now you sit here and start thinking, like, okay, what are these retail brokerages getting for clearing rates, okay? And then what are they charging? What are they turning around to charge you? Guys, take a guess how much Scottrade pays for commissions, okay? And then marks up to you. Or take a guess how much Fidelity pays. Take a guess how much E-Trade pays. Take a guess how much TD Ameritrade pays. Guys, they have clearing rates for 5 cents a contract. Might be a little bit more, but it's around there, 5 cents a contract. Some of them have even less, 3 cents a contract, okay? And then they turn around and charge you, what? 75 cents a contract, okay? Now, obviously, the markup includes costs, right? They got locations, they got employees, they got this, they got that, they got all kinds of stuff, insurance, they got all kinds of fees that they have to pay for. So, therefore, they mark up this cost to you, okay, and charge you 75 cents, right? But just think about that. Think about the profit. Think about the profit that they're making off of all your trades, off of all your, executions and everything. Plus, they got a ticket fee on top of that. And you're not even getting the best executions. You're not getting even close to the best executions. And then we can bring up the whole payment for order flow. Most of you guys don't understand payment for order flow. This is all after the computer started running the game in 2007. Your brokers are selling your orders to the highest bidder. Okay? That's another thing that you don't know about. and and they are paying top dollars. Okay, hedge funds and smart money pays top dollars to figure out how you guys trade. Okay, so that they can steal your money left and right. All right, that's how this game works right now, and the commission game is huge. Okay, so Fidelity 2009. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I could have been, you know, I could have had an extra $300,000 in my pocket just for all that work I did. So finally, 2009 was when my eyes were open. I started figuring this whole thing out, and then you start to realize, you know, how deep the waters go, so to speak. And it's pretty nasty out there. It's pretty nasty out there. But again, guys, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to, you know, sit here and talk all this nonsense. For most of you retail traders who are just trading one contract or 5 contracts or 10 contracts, you know, at the end of the day, you still got to make your money. You still have to make your money. You still have to play their game. So for now, you got to pay that contract price. I did it. Everybody had to do it. You know, but it is worth it to be aware of what happens in the background. Nate?
Yep. Oh, absolutely, Sang. I'm going to take the screen back from you if you don't mind, and then we will we'll go ahead with those slides there.
Go for it.
Give me. Alrighty. So I want to go over real quick. Just kind of let's zoom out a little bit and talk about what problem Sang Lucci is solving for us, just in this very presentation during this very brief hour that we have with him. First things first, the inefficient or incorrect displays of information that lose you money. When you're looking at either the wrong information in your brokerage platform or maybe a subpar platform, guess what? The people that you're trading against, the people that are on the other side of your trade, they have the better information than you. So it's so crucial to have the right info. And so you can butt in whenever you want. But 2, like Sang Lucci said, that was $300,000 lost on commissions and fees in 1 year. Those are the kinds of pits that you can fall into if you're not careful and you don't understand. Now that's something that Sang Lucci experienced and that you overcame, and of course have you know tremendous success. But you know at the beginning of a career, as you get started trading, those are the kinds of things that you had to go through and that you came out from. And I've spoken to you so many times about how you've learned from it too. And that's things that I know your students learn from. And 3, not understanding why professional traders have their setups the way that they do. It's simple, because the rules are stacked in favor of the professional trader. Professional traders simply have the upper hand in certain situations, but there are things that you can do to minimize the upper hand and to tip the scales and to figure out ways that you can benefit and capitalize on this market so that you too can make an income and you too can profit. So I want to go over some testimonials from students of Sang Lucci, and I'll read them, Sang, because I don't want to embarrass you and make you read them yourself. But here's one from Randy, a student who had a really great experience learning from you. And Randy wrote, with a 5-star review, "This is an excellent value for your money. Sang and his gang are very knowledgeable in their craft and are more than willing to see you succeed." And from Rob, "The best chat experience I've come across," this is for the chat rooms that Sang Lucci runs, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that shortly. "The best chat experience I've come across involving day trading. Moderators answer every question, no matter how novice the question is. Great ideas flow brilliantly amongst the active participants while providing the opportunity for novices to observe and learn. All in all," this is from Terry, "I took a little over $92,000 in profit in a matter of a little under a day. This trade has made my dream of being a self-employed day trader 100% real for the first time." And keep in mind, these are real reviews from real customers on Marketfire. There are no bogus reviews on Marketfire, because you simply cannot write a review unless you actually have access as a student of Sang Lucci. Now, of course, not everyone's ready to invest in their education with a professional trader. That's why there are different education levels with Sang Lucci. You can have everything from that kind of totally comprehensive, totally buckle down and learn to become a pro with the more advanced 12-day options and tapering course, or you can have an education or a chat experience that's more appropriate for somebody who is either getting started, getting their feet wet, maybe trading on the side. And that, for the On the Moves options trading course, that's exactly who that caters for. Somebody who is either getting started, someone who maybe is I guess has other commitments during the day, so is kind of has one foot in trading, one foot in something else, or somebody who wants to just get a flavor of Sang Lucci's strategy, because this isn't just some kind of course where you take it, don't get much out of it, and then feel pressure to take something else. There's a lot of valuable insights. Where A, you learn how to be an options trader, and B, you learn how to take advantage of those same strategies that Sang Lucci uses for his hedge fund trading. So let's read what Carolyn had to say about it. She said, "A great class. I took the class after taking Lucci's tape reading class, as I was not really getting the hang of the tape reading. I would recommend this for anyone who feels unsure of tape reading. It paints a picture, literally, giving you a better view of what's going on with your charts in level 2. Both Zach and Pete are good speakers. Those are Sang Lucci's colleagues. Zach and Pete are good speakers and good teachers, keeping the student focused on the class, which is so necessary for someone like myself with a wandering mind. Excellent job, boys. Excellent job." And even better for you, Carolyn, if you have a wandering mind, everything's recorded. Nothing is kind of just off in the air. This webinar is recorded. This webinar is almost a little preview of the lessons that you get in those courses, and it's recorded. Everything's recorded so that you can watch everything on demand aside from some of those live sessions. So, more onto this On the Move course. What is it? It's an options course for the trader whose time is money. That is what time is all about. Our time is worth money to us. It could be our hourly wage, or it could just be how important our time is to us. But not everyone can be a trader who's in front of their station 8 hours a day or 6.5 hours if the market is open. So with the On the Move course, you get video lessons that cover the basics and advanced strategy. So again, we're not talking about just glossing over. It's not too in-depth. It's not too wonky. It's not the kind of things you're going to get from a PhD, but this is real practical strategy that can help you make money. You get daily updates, weekly trading reviews, and bi-weekly Google Hangout sessions. Plus, Sang Lucci offers the ebook, a 60-page digital course guide that is all about options trading, all about his advanced tape reading strategies, and review the material covered in the course. That's what the ebook allows you to do, is you can go back, and once you kind of get that material from different mediums. So you see it in one medium in the course from the video lesson, you see it in another medium from the ebook. And that's the way that you can really internalize that material. And then when you're ready to put that material into use, you can get into that chat room, chat with Sang Lucci, chat with the Sang Lucci team throughout the trading day. And really, some people are even in there after the market is closed. You can get live market commentary and analysis from Sang Lucci and from the Sang Lucci team. So as Sang Lucci and his team of hedge fund traders are trading, they will also be sharing their insights throughout the trading day. And plus, you can learn from your fellow traders, because there's some really advanced, some really interesting traders in there doing amazing things with options, and you can learn from them as well. Plus, get feedback on your trading ideas. Share your ideas with the community, and it's a back and forth. The chat room is a great thing, and I encourage everyone to take part in. I know whenever I'm watching it during the trading day, there's just such an incredible back and forth going on. Now, we have this very special set of offers for you, and I'm going to be dropping a link in your GoToWebinar chat box so that you can take advantage of whichever offer that you decide is best for you. So watch out for that link. It's coming into your GoToWebinar chat box right as I speak here. It's 3 different links for the 3 different packages. Hang on just a moment, folks. So whichever package is right for you, you can click on that link. So with the first package, that starter package, you get for only $139, and again, that is a $250 value. You get the starter course, and you get the ebook, plus, of course, you get the support. Marketfire has 24/7 support, so that's technical support, plus you get support from Sang Lucci and the team. Whenever you have a question, you can ask Sang Lucci that question with a message function and pass it along, and that's a $250 value because you have the $150 course, the $100 ebook, and for only $139 today, you can get that starter package, $139, and that coupon code is there with the link in your GoToWebinar chat box. again, with the profit package, this is a really sweet deal. The starter course is a $150 value. The ebook is a $100 value. Have that 24/7 support from Marketfire and that 24/7 access to Message Sang Lucci, of course, plus 6 months of chat room access. And that chat room access is a $50 per month value. Altogether, regular price on an ordinary day, it's $550. But today, because we have this special deal, it is only $299 with coupon code PROFITS here, and that code is in your GoToWebinar chat box. You can click the link and take advantage of that before the offer expires 24 hours from now. And then the Pro Profit Package. This is the big kahuna of the deal. If you really want to dive in and get that extra level of support, you can get the starter course for $150. You can get the ebook, which is worth $100. You can get the 24/7 support and messaging Sang Lucci at any time, plus 12 months, 1 full year of chat room access, which of course is $50 a month. That is a $600 value, plus 2 hours of personal coaching, which is a $200 per hour value, and that is so $400 worth of personal coaching, all in all worth $1,250 for $899. That is the Pro Profit Package. And now we're gonna get to your questions here in just a moment, folks. So I see questions from Matt, Chris, Judith, Robert, Mitch, Chris, James, David, Chucky, Denny, Chrissy, Vincente. We're going to get to your questions. So hang tight. We have a question about, let's see, a question from Francis about the packages. And the question is, can I access the starter package with a, sorry, what is that? Can I access the starter package with a purchase made this weekend? No, this is only available for the next 24 hours, Francis. I'm sorry, but truth be told, Francis, I speak to traders all the time, rookie traders, more seasoned traders, you name it. There's one question I always ask, and I always ask traders, what motivates you to be a trader? And whatever people's answer is, the common thread is it's always about achieving some dream, achieving some goal. Sometimes people are trading so they can quit their dead-end rat race jobs. People are trading to become fabulously wealthy. People are trading to supplement their income, pay off their mortgage, go on a vacation, boost your retirement income, whatever it is, whatever your financial dream is, you are here in this webinar because you want to empower yourself to achieve that dream. My challenge to you is, Francis and everyone in the webinar, be proactive about achieving your dream. Take the next step. Be resourceful enough to take advantage of the best possible resources that can help you achieve your dreams. And those best resources, they're sitting on your computer screen right in front of your nose. These are amazing deals that are only valid for the next 24 hours. They're simply too good to give away every day, but in honor of the special webinar, we are giving them away special. So make sure to take advantage of that. Do the proactive thing, because ultimately, if you sit back without educating yourself, without trading alongside a pro like Sang Lucci, then I hate to say it, but you're going to end up getting beat by the pros. So, Lucci, are you ready to take some questions?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, so the question comes in from Chris. Chris asked, how do we get access to these proprietary trading platforms?
Okay, how do you get access to proprietary trading platforms? Well, the best way to do it is join a proprietary trading firm. That would be the best way to do it. And these firms exist all across the country that you can join. And basically what you're going to do is, nowadays the SEC kind of cracked down on some structural issues with proprietary trading firms. But the ones that still exist today, those are the ones where you're going to need to get a license. You're going to need to get a license. It's called the Series 5-6. And that's what you're going to need in order to trade at a proprietary trading firm and get access to these kind of platforms. Now, some of these platforms have started to allow retail traders with a certain sized account to come in and use their platforms for a data fee. So basically, one in particular that I do know is Lightspeed. So if you go to Lightspeed Trader or Lightspeed.com, you can actually have a direct market access platform without having without having a license, without having that license, or without working for a proprietary trading firm. Okay, as far as getting access to some of these DMA platforms or institutional platforms, you need to be a client of the institution. So this often means that you need a PMA account. This means you need $250,000 or up just to get access to some of these proprietary platforms. So unfortunately, there's not too much of a way you can get in there, but you need to ask, the question that you need to be asking is if you need it in the first place, okay? 2009, I was trading on Fidelity, guys, so it's not like you need it. And I don't want to put it out there to sort of coerce you guys and the fact that you need it. You need to examine the fact if you need it or not. Are you going to be trading that actively? What kind of money are you trying to make? Do you have the time to dedicate to this kind of thing? So those are the first questions that you want to ask before even asking, okay, what kind of a platform do I need? If you're in the position where you're trying to make this your 9 to 5, you're really trying to go at this right, and you're going to throw some sufficient capital to it, then you got to start asking those kind of questions. Next question.
Thanks, Lucci. The next question comes in from Chucky. Chucky asked, what's the best case scenario for commissions on a $5,000 trading account?
Say that again?
Chucky asked, what is the best case scenario for commissions on a $5,000 trading account?
Okay. What is the best, sorry, for some reason you're cutting out. So you're saying what is the best platform that you can get for a $5,000 trading account?
No, the question was, what's the best case scenario for commissions on a $5,000 trading account? Presumably,
somebody. Okay.
Presumably, he's speaking of somebody using your strategy.
Okay. If you want to use it, honestly, I would say the best way to go about it is to use a couple different platforms. So basically what I'm saying is some platforms are good for data and good for looking at charts and things like that, and other platforms are better for execution. They might have better commissions and things like that. So if you want to trade my particular strategy, which is very aggressive intraday options, you want to trade weekly options, you're going to be in and out of things very quickly, I would honestly recommend using, let's say, a platform for data that, let's say, you don't have to pay for. So, maybe a Thinkorswim for data. So you have that up on a couple of screens, or you have that up on one screen, and then you have your actual account, your $5,000, parked with somebody like Options House. Options House, they'll only charge you $8 for a trade ticket and 15 cents a contract. So that's honestly the cheapest that you're going to get. The problem is your fills might not be that great, but at the end of the day, if you're starting with a $5,000 account, you got to start somewhere. So I would recommend a combination of sorts, but house your account with Options House, and therefore, you can take advantage of that 15 cents a contract, so you're not going to get too smoked on the commissions. But again, realize, guys, everybody has to make the trek from $5,000 to $25,000, okay? Everybody has to do it. It's a rite of passage, okay? So if you're sitting there trying to nitpick for commissions and, and sort of bitching and moaning because your commissions are too high, but you still got a $5,000 account, you got to figure out how to trade first. That's what you got to figure out how to do. So don't worry about commissions as much as you need to worry about how the hell am I going to grow this $5,000 to 25 grand so I can get a real account. Okay, that's what you should be worried about. But yes, to start off, I would say use Thinkorswim for the data, and then park your money with Options House.
Thanks, Lucci. So the next question came in from Kurt, and I can handle this one. Kurt asked, where can I find the links to sign up? So Kurt, you'll find those in your GoToWebinar chat box. There are 3 separate links for the 3 separate packages. So make sure that you click the one that you want. And of course, those packages are right up there on your screen in the slide that's showing right now. So it's right there in your GoToWebinar chat box, and you can find the appropriate one for you. And now from James, Lucci James asked, I think he's referring to, towards the beginning of the presentation, you were talking about sort of concealing your next move and not showing your cards. James is wondering, why don't you want anyone to know what you're going to be doing?
Okay, why would you want to know
Why would you not want anyone to know what your next move is?
Well, think about it, man. I mean, come on now. Think about it. Think about it for a half a second, my friend, or a half a minute. Now, if you wanted to buy a significant amount of contracts, okay, and everybody sit there and everybody knew what you were doing when you threw it out there, what do you think you would do? What do you think you would do if you saw me buying 10,000 contracts or wanting to buy 10,000 contracts? What do you think you'd do in that option? You would buy in front of me, wouldn't you? You and everybody else sitting in this webinar and everybody else on Twitter, you would buy right in front of me. And what happens when you buy right in front of me? Price goes up. Price keeps going up. And then what do I have to do? If I still want my 10,000 contracts, what do I have to do? I got to step my bid up. I got to move it higher. And when I move it higher, what do you think is going to happen? All you guys are going to front run me again. That is the stock market, my friend. That is the stock market.
That's right. Sorry about the little interruption there. Thanks, Lucci. Next question comes in from Doris. Doris asked, this is a lot of information for free. Don't people usually have to pay for this kind of stuff? And I don't know if you want to handle that one, Lucci. I suppose some people might charge for that kind of information, but this I guess you could consider something of a preview, because ultimately we want to show you the value that is available to you in these packages. It's available to you in these courses. So we want to just give you a taste. A, because I know you, Lucci, you love reaching out to your community and you love teaching. And B, we feel that, hey, you know what, if this is the kind of education that people want, everything you heard in this webinar is based on questions that people have asked, questions that I know I've passed on to you, Lucci, and it only makes sense to give back to the community and to answer those questions. Plus, think about it this way: this is the kind of information that is free. That's not part of any proprietary course. It's not part of the course that you're seeing on your screen right now. The information in the course that you'll get, whether from the starter package or all through to the personal coaching, where you get 2 hours privately with Sang Lucci, 2 whole hours, and those hours are literally like gold for a trader. Hours with one of the most distinguished hedge fund options traders out there. That what you get in that case, that is just so much more valuable than what you're getting today. So think about it this way: this stuff is free. Proportionally, think about how much more valuable you're getting with these courses. Just is. The next question is from Chris. Chris wants to know what platform is she looking at when she's seeing you on your screens there.
Okay, so which one? I mean, I had 3 up. So she's asking what are all the platforms?
Yep.
Okay, you saw a Fidelity platform, and then you saw the institutional one, which is called Rocks. That platform is called Rocks. Okay, and then I had that web browser options house thing up.
Thanks. Christopher asked, what amount of money would you recommend to switch to a direct access broker?
Well, it's not what I recommend. I mean, it's what they require. So, you're looking at 25-30 grand. That's what you're looking at. Now, one thing I wasn't going to mention, but I'm actually going to just throw it out there. A guy that I work with, or I used to work with, he's starting his own firm where we are recommending people check out. And basically what it is sort of a hybrid here between direct market access and retail guys. And yes, you are going to have there is going to be sort of a mid amount that you need to come in with. If you guys are interested, just email Lucci at sanglucci.com, and we'll give you some more information on that. But basically, you're at the mercy of the platform, and most DMAs are going to ask you for 30 grand, 35,000 at least to start off with. If you actually join a prop firm, they might only ask you to put up 5,000, 10,000 bucks, and then you can get access to their platform. But they're going to take a cut of your profits. They're going to, they're going to juice you. They're going to juice you for commissions, and you know, and they're also going to try to make you teach their strategy. Okay, so you know, there's a lot of things that go on with proprietary trading firms. If you guys are actually thinking of doing it, make sure you do your research and email us. Email us at lucci@sanglucci.com, and you know, we'll try to help you out as much as we can.
Thanks, Lucci. James is asking, how much capital did you start with?
I started just like you, my friend. I started with $5,000 in a prop firm. That's what I started. So I started with $5,000, and you know, I made the trek up. Made a couple, you know, had a couple good months. It took me like a year and a half to make money, though. It took me a long time to make money, and you know, it's tough starting out. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. So for most of you guys who are starting out with a small amount of capital, $5,000, $10,000, or even less than $5,000, maybe you're starting out with a couple thousand. It ain't easy. It is not easy, and you better be ready. You better be ready for a lot of ups and downs, a lot of sort of sleepless nights, and you know, so there's a lot of psychology involved and all that kind of stuff as well. So so before you do undertake you know, this kind of career, make sure you do your research, and make sure you talk to people who are real. Make sure you talk to people who are honest, and who give it to you straight.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, one of the things to watch out for is if you're not profitable. I've heard stories of, and actually James just wrote in that I've heard stories of people that get just kind of kicked off of, you know, being trading with their prop account when they're not profitable. So it's another thing to watch out for. It's a matter of you really have to be comfortable with what you're doing, comfortable with your trading before you can start getting into that whole world. I wanted to share with the Marketfire Guarantee because we have a few folks asking about what kinds of guarantees that we offer. So first of all, everything that you see on Marketfire, of course, everything from Sang Lucci is 100% certified and verified by us. We are a third-party certification service. And also, we have people asking about the 12-day course. That's not what we're here to talk about. Things are still being finalized for the next 12-day course, which is a more in-depth options tape reading course. But if you are interested in that, you can give us a call at 877-440-9464. That's 877-440-9464. And of course, this comes with 24/7 trader care support. Everything's fully verified. There's a free gift. We will also give you a Marketfire credit, and there is a special. If you live in a state that can have a delivery of a wine card, you can give us a delivery of wine. Some states don't allow it, but if you live in a state where you can have wine delivered to your home, anyone who purchases within the next 24 hours will get a gift card for some free wine from nakedwines.com. That's a $50 value, so $50 worth of wine, so you can sit back and relax after the trading day there. And of course, if you're not satisfied, if you buy and it's not for you and you have a good reason, we're so confident that you'll be happy with what you see, that there is a money back guarantee, and it's on all month-by-month products. So, Lucci, what can you tell us about your student Mustbed? Because that's an amazing story. I love hearing about Mustbed.
Okay, Mustbed, guys, before I actually started, actually, yeah, it was 2010. In 2010, guys, I was doing Skype one-on-one sessions, right? And and I was selling them for like $90 a week or whatever. I think it was like $90 a month recurring, right? And then I realized, like, I was giving away so much information for barely nothing. So I started moving up the price, you know, up to like $3.99, $4.99. Mustbed was one of my first, was one of the first people who took my one-on-one course. So I sat with him for, I don't know, maybe 10 hours or 12 hours, and this was just an hour for 2 days a week maybe. And I taught him how to tape read. I taught him what it was, and you know, basically I just kind of I went through the whole spiel of trading and all that kind of stuff. And he's a character. He's one of those people that a teacher wants out of a student, so to speak, because this one, he took very well to the information, and he applied it every single day. And if you guys want to know what must-ped means, it means must practice every day. That's what it is. So he's kind of a weirdo in that sense, where he literally just practices things over and over and over. And and this goes with anything that you want to be good at. If you guys are out there playing the piano, or you playing the guitar, or whatever the hell it is that you do with your hobbies and things like that, I mean, you got to put in the hours. You have to put in the hours, and you got to put in the effort. And this one was one of those people. And this is a game where if you really want to make something happen, you got to put in some time. You got to put in some time. You got to put in some effort, and you got to take your losses. You have to be in the game. You have to try. You have to be in the game, and you have to accept some of the costs of doing business. And one of those costs, if you're going to decide to become a trader, is accepting what could happen. Taking losers and things like that. So he studied for a while, and it was about a year later. It might have been 2 years later after that. I mean, when the fiscal cliff and the debt ceiling talk started to really happen, and there was all this the Eurozone crisis and all that kind of stuff accumulated into this really giant sell-off in the markets. He was there with a bunch of out-of-the-money monthly puts, and he smoked it. He smoked it, and he made a crap ton of money, and that was sort of his claim to fame. But then even beyond that, I mean, again, like, he practices every single day. He sits there and reads tape for hours a day. That's how he was able to do it. And that's what I did when I started. So what I did is, after every single trading day, was I spent 3-4 hours reading the tape every single day, and that really cued me in to a lot of how to read footprints of some of the bigger players out there. And if somebody was in the market buying 1 million shares of X, Y, and Z stock and moving the price of the stock up, I was there. I could understand it simply because I read tape over and over and over again. So that's just what it is. People who are going to put in the effort, accept the cost, those are the ones that are going to make it. And he's a perfect example.
And one thing when I first heard Must-Ped's story that really just I was amazed about, Lucci, was he started with what? $10,000? Is that right?
Yeah, he started small. He started small with 10 grand. Yeah.
And heck, that is below the $25,000 day trading limit. So first of all, I was like, how did he do that? And I realized he started off swing trading, and then he just built his way up, and those are the kinds of skills to make $450,000. You can see that, $450,000. Huge, way into the six figures amount off of $10,000. Starting off where you're not even legally allowed to start day trading, so he couldn't. He had to be swing trading. But little by little, he learned and he learned and he learned. And he practiced, and of course, the biggest benefit that Must-Ped had was he didn't have to make all the same mistakes that most traders make, because he took your course and he learned from you. And when you learn, you avoid making mistakes. And I mean, I was reading a study where it was talking about, I think, the average quote-unquote trader's tuition is something between $70,000 and $80,000 a year. Just $70,000 and $80,000. What that means is the amount of money lost by the average trader as they're sort of getting their foothold and as they're learning is something like $70,000 or $80,000. That's huge. It's money lost down the drain as you're kind of tinkering, as you're experimenting, trying to figure things out. And that is what Must-Ped sidestepped, exactly by learning from you, Sang Lucci. And that's the value that's being offered in these packages. So I know it's $899, but compare that to times 10. It's really times 10 of what times 100. What you could be shelling out in the trader's tuition, which is sort of a tongue-in-cheek term for the amount of money that you lose while you're kind of figuring things out in the market. So it's just an astounding deal and an astounding opportunity to learn from one of the best in the business. So again, those links are in your GoToWebinar chat box, because there's two ways to learn. One of them is learn from an expert, learn from someone like Sang Lucci, who has done it all and who has totally nailed down the process for trading, and also for finding the best way for his students, for your students, Sang Lucci, that's best for them, and figuring out what's the most appropriate risk profile, what's the most appropriate way to approach the markets for each student. And that's what you get with that coaching. So you can either do that, or you can do trial and error. Maybe you'll never get on your feet, or maybe you'll get on your feet $80,000 later. But again, for a price like $899 for the Pro Profit package or $299 package, it is a no-brainer in my mind. You have time for one last question. I know we're a little bit over time. Hey, Lucci.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So this question comes in from Diane. Diane wants to know, in your trading, do black swan events or political events or things like the Federal Reserve announcements impact your trading at all?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know what, to be honest, I mean, where some of the biggest traders make most of their money is when there's turmoil, is when, you know, there's a lot of things going on and there's a lot of anticipation of future fear, panic, or euphoria. So, for example, you know, we just got cleared through with this sort of Syria issue, and all of a sudden now markets have caught a bid, and, you know, you're looking at Netflix up 30 points from where, you know, all this kind of nonsense happened. You know, so there's so much opportunity in situations where the sort of market environment or sort of the macro picture is all over the place. So absolutely, some of the people make their most money when stuff like this goes on. And to be honest, some of the best traders out there, they only come around and play during times where there is turmoil and times where, you know, there is volatility. So, and that's simply because, you know, stocks are moving, everything is moving, just to compensate for, you know, the future or what they think could happen with particular crises and all that kind of stuff. However, on the flip side, somebody wins, somebody loses. So you know, if you're not on the right side, or you're not seeing the environment correctly, or whatever the case may be, you know, you are going to have some serious problems during times where there's a lot of political issues and things like that. So many traders choose to step aside. Many traders choose to just chill out and say, you know what, I'm not going to trade this nonsense. And in reality, that's probably what I should have done for the past 2 months, because, you know, again, like I've had an issue adjusting to the current market environment beyond the bull market that we saw for the beginning of this year. You know, from January to about June, it was just up, 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 and up. All you had to do was dip by something, and you'd be clean. But this market that we've kind of gone into during the summertime, and you know, with Syria back out here and a couple of other things just looming, it's really been some jittery action that I haven't been able to take advantage of. So again, there's two sides to everything, and it's sort of difficult for me to actually pinpoint a specific answer to that question. But basically, you got to figure out how that macro picture is affecting your market environment right now. The only thing that you should be caring about is what the market environment is right now. Do you understand it? Can you make money off of it? If the answer is no, then sit the hell out. That's it, you know. And that's kind of the daily decisions that you have to make.
Okay, that wraps it up. So thank you so much, Sang Lucci, and I'll stick around in the room for a little bit longer to answer any questions about signing up for any of these packages. But as far as the presentation goes, that is a wrap. So you know what, Sang Lucci, if this were a live presentation and not an online seminar, then I think there would be a standing ovation in the audience right now, because this was really an informative event. Like that one questioner said, this is the kind of stuff that people usually do have to pay for that you so graciously offered for free, and that I got a ton out of it. I'm getting lots and lots of thank yous from people in the audience. So just kind of close your eyes, imagine a packed room full of people giving you a standing ovation, hooting, hollering, and yelling thank you. So thank you so much.
I got a presentation actually. I got a presentation actually out in Chicago, so that might happen anyway. But I'm sure, you know, a live presentation is a little bit different. You know, you got to deliver a performance and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how it goes. Thanks, everybody.
All right, break a leg on that one too. Have a good night.
Later.